In this episode, we explore the history of Newhaven, a district in the city of Edinburgh located between Leith and Granton, about 2 miles north of the city centre. Newhaven was created as a custom-built port in 1504 by King James IV for the construction of his massive warship, Michael, popularly known as the Great Michael. This enormous ship, which is said to have weighed 1,000 tons, was built out of 72 acres of premium oak wood and equipped with 24 Flanders guns and another 40 smaller guns. It was crewed by 300 sailors, 120 gunners, and could carry 1,000 soldiers. The Great Michael was the largest ship in all of Europe. Christopher Columbus's entire sailing fleet was said to have been able to fit inside, which really irked King Henry VIII, as the vessel was near twice the size of her English contemporary, Mary Rose. After the death of King James IV at the Battle of Flodden in 1513, the ship was sold to the King of France, Louis XII. The French supposedly had renamed the ship Le Grand Neuf de Cos, which, if you pardon my French, translates to the Great Knave of Scotland. Sadly, the warship being such an expensive and hefty vessel to maintain and operate was just left docked in France to basically rot away. For his dockyard workers and mariners, James IV built the Chapel of Virgin Mary and St. James in 1508, the ruins of which can still be seen today in Lamb's Court and Westmount Close. Since the beginning of the 1500s, the shore has drastically changed. The site of the original harbour is now the current open space at Fish Market Square. After the Great Michael sailed out of Newhaven, the area developed as a steadfastly self-dependent fishing community, fully equipped with its own form of labour organisation, customs, and identity. Newhaven carried out its largely self-contained insular existence for about 250 years, catching and selling fish and oysters, building boats, and providing pilotage for the treacherous waters of the Forth. By the mid-19th century, the harbour had grown to support 100 boats, providing income for about 400 fishermen and their families. The Newhaven fishermen were known for their hard work and bravery, and during times of war, they were among the first to offer their services as a marine force to guard their native coast against the enemy. And their patriotism was noted on more than one occasion. In recognition of their bravery, they were awarded a silver medal in 1796. However, it was the wives of the fishermen who were the backbone of the household. They woke up early to harvest mussels for bait, and then prepared and sold their husband's catch on the street corners and around the houses of the town. Women set the fish prices and controlled the local economy. A typical Newhaven fishwife was said to be able to carry 50 to 100 kilograms of fish at one time. With their creels on their backs, the fishwives sold fish from door to door, using songs or cries, as they were known. Some of their songs included Caller Herrin for fresh herring and Caller Oo for fresh oysters, which directly spoke to the customer. Local choirs formed in the late 19th century have gained international recognition for their unique songs and cries. The fishwives were declared by King George IV to be the most handsomest women he had ever seen, and were looked upon by Queen Victoria with wonder and amazement. Photos taken by Edinburgh photographers Hill and Adamson romanticized the life of the fishwives, which helped them gain their far-reaching admiration. The colorful and instantly recognizable fishwives continued their trades in the streets of Edinburgh right up until the demise of the fishing industry in the south of Scotland in the 1950s. The dwindle in their population may have been due to the fact that they rarely married outside of their own community. A woman from any other background marrying into this community would likely be in over her head. He would have to be a real catch, as she would have to learn how to bait and prepare the lines, mend the nets, and maintain the family by donning the creel and disposing of his catch. Hardworking and community-minded, the people of this port were very superstitious. I read that while at sea, if they even thought of a cat or a pig, it was taboo, and their names must not be uttered aloud, and if so, only in a veiled language. To think of a hare or a dog was believed to bring terrible misfortune, and just mentioning the word minister was considered extremely sinister. This filled townspeople with terror, as the minister should only be referred to as the man in the black coat. Interestingly, Friday was considered an unlucky day for most things, except for getting married. The lighthouse was constructed by James Dove and Company in 1869 and was first lit in 1878. In 1896, Edinburgh Council built a new fish market next to the harbour, reflecting the growing importance of Newhaven as a source of fish, not just for the locals, but for much of lowland Scotland. Ironically, as times have changed, produce is now brought in from elsewhere, and high-end restaurants occupy the remaining real estate. Despite the changes and developments, the history and legacy of Newhaven's fishing community remain an important part of the area's identity. A plaque hanging in Fish Market Square with a famous Newhaven quote speaks to the demise of the area. "When the willowbank tree withers away, the fishing trade shall also decay." Google Maps says it should be a 36-minute walk from King George V Park to Newhaven Harbour. When we set out, we thought we could fit our wee adventure into a single video with a few interesting facts that we found along the way. But as you can see, thousands of years of inhabitants and innovations around these parts makes for a lot of research. I really want to do my best to share these stories as accurately as possible. If you have any information to add, or you think I've got something not quite right, please kindly contribute to the comments section. I've had to leave out so many incredible stories that I still want to share with you. So we plan to do more individual topic videos about Edinburgh's history and its culture to get these fascinating stories out. If you're enjoying our videos, please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. Okay, Nacho, you deserve a treat, and I deserve a pint.